Hi everyone, welcome back. I am happy to be back and back in Georgia at that. My co-op has ended. It was great. I spoke with my advisor yesterday and she asked me how it went and I said it was great. However, I feel very burnt out because I did a lot of all-nighters to get the final presentation ready for the co-op. And she was like, well, next week is spring break and I'm going snowboarding, so why don't you take the week off and recuperate before you start back doing PhD work? And I was like, this is amazing. I love my advisor because that's exactly what I needed. Going on a little road trip. I'm at a red light, that's why I could look. I didn't speak to you since before Christmas, and for Christmas, luckily, Merck had 5 shutdown days. So that was great. That allowed me to go back to Trinidad and surprise my entire family. And those were paid days, so I was really happy for that. Christmas brought me around nearly 4 months of being on the co-op. So when I returned in January, very interestingly, early January, my supervisor was like, did you not get the site-wide email? And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, they're locking down. They're advising us to stay home. Non-essential workers, they're advising us to work from home until further notice, at least until February. So I was like, oh my gosh, I was so excited when I heard that. I said, I'm definitely going back to Georgia, especially because the Airbnb that I was staying in started to get cold and mice started coming in. So there were 7 mouse traps in the kitchen, and one day I walked into the kitchen and I saw a mouse in the trap and my blood started to crawl. I was just disgusted. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't look at it. I don't want to pass near it in case it moves, even though it's probably dead in that very traumatic mouse trap. And I was like, okay. So I messaged the landlord and he came and he picked it up and threw it away. And I was like, all right, I think I'll be good. Let's just keep pushing. And then the next morning, I'm passing again, and there was another mouse, and I was like, 2 in a row, that is my limit. And, I was really happy that, that I got that notice that we could work from home, because I was like, I am packing up and I am moving out. And then before you knew it, I was like, wait, why am I going back to Philly? Given that it's only like a month left. So I talked to my supervisor and she said, well, I'm not going to make you come back. You go ahead and, if you want to work from Georgia, that's fine. And I was like, perfect. I could be in the comfort of my home, spend time with my husband. And I'm really more comfortable just working from home. I get really zoned in. I put in more hours, but all in all, I feel like I work better from home. So thinking back on my co-op experience, I do want to share a little bit of advice to maybe help your co-op experience go smoother, and even just life in general or any projects that you're working on. Coming on to the middle of the co-op, my mentor, she wanted me to report the work that I was doing. And I was like, what do you mean report? Like how official, how executive do you want this? Do you want just like a rundown of what I did, real basic overview? And she was like, no, we want to be able to like report this work, officially or whatever. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that means I have a lot of work to go back and do, and to kind of like go back and rewrite and explain every little thing. And that would be a little difficult because at that moment I was trying to really progress forward with some good results. So to go back now and document my initial thought processes was almost a little stressful. So I advise when you start any project to like document as you go, and don't do as me where I need to now go back while I'm trying to work on new things and document old things, right? So this overall reporting and documentation would be great, like a README file, if you will. Also, if you're in a coding position or you're doing a lot of coding and you have different like notebooks where you're writing your code, I really, really advise you to comment on that code. Each line, really outline exactly what you're doing, why you're doing it, what you're using, why you're using it. so that someone else coming in who might take over your project or just wants to understand your workflow doesn't have a very hard time doing so. And also it saves you a lot of time because they don't need to like call on you every minute to explain why you did something. It's already there, documented in that coding notebook. And what that coding notebook also does, like if you have it well commented, it helps you with your report writing as well, so that you don't need to be like, wait, what did I do? Why did I do it? It's like right there, you just kind of copy and paste or like use it as a reference or guide to help with your report writing later on. So luckily my coding had well commented cells and stuff like that, so that wasn't too bad. It was just going back from scratch and writing out exactly why I did certain things. So the next thing is, when you are closing out of the co-op, there are a couple of things that you need to be mindful of. The first thing is that it would be nice to have an outline of your entire journey or experience so that you can present that to your more intimate group during the co-op. So something that the internship mentoring program that I was a part of at Merck, they advise that you do something called a journey slide. So it's kind of like a roadmap through your co-op where you kind of highlight your milestones and the things that you've accomplished during your term. And I thought that was a great idea. So what made it helpful to create that journey slide was having a notebook that documented every day the work that I did. So every month I could go back and say, what did I do in September? And I could flip through those pages and say, oh, okay, during December I actually did all the coding for this. During October I did this other thing. During December was something else. So you have like a nice notebook to reflect on and go back. From that notebook I was able to prepare my journey slide because it had all the information there already. Just needed to go back and check on a couple details so that I can get my timelines correctly. So it's very important to know your timeline, and it also shows your mentor, your group, your co-op group, how productive you really were, right? So when they see, oh wow, she did all of this in September, all of this in October, it's kind of like, yeah, this person was productive. They weren't wasting any time during their term. I believe my supervisor and my mentor were very impressed and were happy that I was able to like summarize my work. And they also mentioned that they would use that as a template to show incoming co-op students, what the co-op could be like, or what to expect, or what others have done during their term, to give them an idea of how they should proceed. So that's the co-op journey slide. Also, when you're leaving, it would be nice to keep in touch or to extend your personal contact information to your colleagues or anybody that you've met or had an impact on you. So you need to be able to prepare an exit email where you copy your personal email, and then you would also give your LinkedIn or whatever other websites that you would like them to have to be able to contact you, right? So what I wasn't sure how to write my exit email, but I did some research. Google is my best friend now, other than my mother, my husband. I'm kidding. But so Google was great. It told me that if you had a short term, your email should also be short. And I thought that was very insightful, because I was like, should I write a long email talking about how each person inspired me? And they were like, pretty much no. Like, you've been there 6 months, like short and sweet, give your contact information, say your thank yous, but don't be too long and exhaustive. Like, you're not there that long. Don't show up yourself like that. So I'm like, great, perfect. Constructed a nice exit email. Gave my personal email, my LinkedIn that they can reach me at, and then said a very nice thank you and some kind words to all those mentors that I had. I had about 3 mentors, and individuals who were really there trying to help, support, and encourage me along the way. So yeah, exit email. And there's also an exit interview, which I really didn't know about. I just thought that my supervisor just wanted to catch up with me on the last day. But funny enough, when my sister Akila, she was like, "How was your exit interview?" I said, "Wait, that's what that was?" Was I supposed to prepare something? Like, oh my goodness, I feel so bad. And she's like, "No, it's just a way for the employer to understand what, how you felt about the co-op or the internship, and to gain any feedback on how it went or how they can improve." And I was like, okay, perfect, because that's exactly how the meeting went. She just asked, how did the co-op go for me? What were my thoughts? And she asked some specific questions, so things she wanted some insight on, and then of course the feedback that I have. So I was able to provide my feedback. I provided both positive and negative feedback because I believe it's important for these companies, and especially if they're very interested in, making changes that would benefit future employees. So I did make my suggestions, and I think she was like, yes, absolutely, and she noted them, and hopefully it would be better for the incoming co-op students. Overall, I believe it was the best for me to engage in all the different projects that I did, so that I can get like a better understanding of the team, the company, the work that they're doing. And it also informs me and gives me a different perspective, and allows me to really engage with my colleagues on a deeper level, other than hello, hi, good morning, or just in meetings. So it was really nice to be able to work with and collaborate with other individuals on the team in projects other than the one that I was, I guess, hired for. So I do think it was a good thing. It's just, it's good to have that expectation going in, so that you don't go in too close-minded. And I think I went into my co-op a little too close-minded, but that soon changed, and luckily I was able to expand my wings and really embrace all the opportunities that were there for me. So yeah, so that's exit interview and feedback that you want to give, so that you can help better other co-ops and colleagues' work experiences. What else? Something else that I think is nice, if you had lovely mentors or supervisors, giving them a nice thank you gift is the least you can do. So I decided to make little gift bags and put a nice candle. And what I liked about these candles is that it had a nice little wording on it. So one of them had like joy and laughter, and it had a very nice scent, and then the other one was like I can't remember what it was. I also gave like a thoughtful gift card to someone. They were trying to encourage me that this particular chicken sandwich was the best in the world, and I was like, I think Federal Donuts is the best chicken sandwich. So I gave them a gift card and told them, hey, this may change your life. So something thoughtful and nice to get to really show your appreciation for your mentors, and give them a nice little token. In addition to the thank you gift, it's important to maintain that contact or communication with your co-op mentors, especially if you're considering going back to work for them. So my intent is to update my co-op mentors, regardless of if I want to go back and work, update them on my progress. So let's say I publish a paper, I would be like, hey, how you doing? I just want to let you know that I published this paper, have a good read, whatever the case is. And also upon graduation, also let them know that you've graduated, so that they keep you in mind. So that's what I plan to do regardless. And what I also learned is that when you keep updated, or keep them updated with where you're at in your career, while you're finishing off your PhD, etc., they also could look out for opportunities. So they may think, oh wow, she's finishing just now, let me send them this opportunity that we have, or maybe another department has, that I know might be more aligned with what they're doing. So yeah, so just always putting yourself out there and making yourself known could help gather opportunities for you other than just going online and scoping them out yourself. So all in all, I had a wonderful co-op experience. I do think it helped me build my confidence a little bit.
Turn right.